Arsenal be without Ian Wright's goals this season? Well, that's clear when you consider he's bagged 15 of the meagre 33 they've scored in all competitions this season. But after tonight, though, they've got to learn to do without him for a while, because he starts a 3-match suspension. And where would Forest be without Roy Keane, the 21-year-old Irishman, worth, they say, anything up to £6 million on the transfer market? Keane himself requiring, so his manager says, megabucks to stay with Forest. Certainly is big time here at Highbury tonight. Here then are the teams. Arsenal, they are unchanged. It's the side that drew here with Sheffield United last Saturday. There had been speculation that David O'Leary might start, but he and Kevin Campbell are the 2 Arsenal substitutes. Nottingham Forest, though, without Neil Webb, he's cup-tied. Terry Wilson comes into the side that has had something of an uplift in the last week, 2 successive victories, but still bottom of the Premier League. Kingsley Black replaces Gary Bannister. Forest will have a shield of 5 in midfield. Referee tonight, Roger Gifford from Mid Glamorgan, and a big crowd at Highbury. They don't feel the cold at that end. George Graham saying the mural made more noise than some of the Arsenal fans last Saturday. Tonight, though, the real fans might just have something to say about that. So Arsenal gets this quarter-final in the Coca-Cola Cup underway, attacking the goal to our left. It's hard really to know quite where to pitch your thoughts for this game. Arsenal, no victories in the last 8 Premier League games. A run that's lightened only by wins over Derby and Scarborough. They got a free kick here in this competition, and Yeovil in the FA Cup, knocking one in there, and an excellent header there by Andy Linnigan. Just going wide, Tony Adams in there too. Bottom of the Premier League, as I'm saying, but the first stirrings, Brian Clough would be the first to recognise that, of better things. Successive wins over Southampton in the Cup and Coventry last weekend. Nigan didn't get to that one. Adams knocking it back to Seaman. Long there. Keane with the header forward, but Clough caught well offside. And claiming that the free kick should be taken further back than Arsenal required to take it, or wanted to take it. It's Winterburn. Knocking it to Linnigan. There by Wilson, who can play central defender, but playing one of the midfielders tonight, as indeed is Kingsley Black here, winning his way back into the side from the Luton Town player. Here's Laws. Black again. Gemmell's waiting for him. Here's Scott Gemmell. Played a long line there. Keane getting it wide. To Laws once more. Played wide. Gemmell. Cross charged down by Limpar, and Dixon getting a header in, which he needed to do, because Warren was hard in behind him, and possibly a chance for Arsenal to break here. A foul there on Alan Smith by Carl Tyler. Here's Limpar. Right, testing it out beautifully for Smith. Picking up Merson on the far side. Good break here for Arsenal, and a good save by Crossley. 23-year-old Forest keeper, but what an excellent Arsenal move that was. Swiftly executed, finding Merson on that far side. The left foot shot hit with power, but straight at the keeper. Any good movement about this game early on, though. The winners, of course, facing Crystal Palace in a 2-legged semi-final. With the right to play at Wembley in the final. Laws catching Limpar there. Limpar down injured. Referee looking for the notebook. I think Laws might get some punishment here, although I think it was a clumsy challenge without a great deal of malice about it. But he clearly caught Limpar late there. Big men up waiting for this free kick. The 2 defenders, Linnigan and Adams. Smith, another 6-footer. Physically a tall Nottingham Forest defence, and they need to be to hold out here as Winterburn floats that free kick in, a very deep one. the goal kick. Houston, the right-hand man, George Graham. Free kick to Arsenal. Forrest throw, mistake by Dixon. They got it taken quickly to try and snatch the initiative away from Arsenal here, but the throw goes straight to Tony Adams. Up forwards, accurately to Limpar. Smith one side of him, Wright the other, and a ball that's quite simple for Crossley. Who scored the winner at Coventry on Saturday. Orlickson has got Black outside him. Wone again. Might get it onto the left foot. A good shot, pushed away well by Seaman. Forest have got such a good record in this competition. They've lost only 2 of 37 ties. And a good record here at Highbury. And there's Wone with a shot that's pushed away well by Seaman. It's off with it. Gets Gemmell with it. Wone again. Little touching again. Gemmell once more. Orlickson couldn't get a touch on it. It might go anywhere. And in the end, it's Dixon with a chance to flick it into touch to bring some respite for Arsenal. I think, in fact, it might be a free kick for Arsenal. A foul by Nigel Clough on Lee Dixon. I think Brian Clough. Archie Gemmell on the left. Totally satisfied so far with Forest. If anything, they are making most of the running. Winterburn to Limpar. Again it's Winterburn. One towards Smith. Wright is there. Good cross by him towards Masson. Held well though by Crossley. Good anticipation. But also a good cross here from Ian Wright, looking for Merson on the far side. Crossley intervened. Tony Adams. Middle areas now, trying to get away from Nigel Clough. In the end, Clough brings him down, and Arsenal get a free kick. Maybe 8 or 9 yards outside the Nottingham Forest penalty area, just right of centre. Jensen behind this, Dixon also. Usually fancies himself and might still be involved in this. No, yes, it could be Winterburn. Deflected off the defender for a corner to Arsenal. Limpar with it. Smith at the near post. Merson on the goal line. A very deep one there towards Jensen, but Tyler getting up above them all. Clough nodding it down for Wone, knocked forward again for Keane, who's full of running there, and a free kick given. Foul by Winterburn. Graham on the phone down to the bench, and that's the other end of the phone call. So Arsenal have a player injured on the far side. I think it might be Anders Limpar. And they can get some treatment for him now. Yes, it's Limpar. The 2 subs, remember, are David O'Leary and Kevin Campbell. And there is Campbell. So Limpar goes off. And George Graham now deciding what he must do. Orlickson is running into trouble here. Keane half gets it away for Forest. They knock it back this time to Andy Linnigan. Here's Tony Adams. Touch by Winterburn, but Hillier can't pick that one up. Law's in a bit of trouble there. Wright takes it away from him, and it's with Merson. For a poor shot. And in fact, they're not going to gamble before half-time. They're going to bring on Kevin Campbell now. Limpard's off, Campbell's on. And Arsenal back to full strength. Only scored 6 times this season. 17 years since Brian Clough this month joined Nottingham Forest. 4 times they've won this particular competition with him in charge. Twice the European Cup as well. Is policing him, and Seaman in the end comes out to concede the corner. Now will Forest have time to take this before the half-time whistle? Shove Steve Chettle forward. Pearce is now going forward as well. Wright's going back with him. Wone with the kick, hitting it in low, trying to flick it on, and Campbell will bring it away. But Jensen back to Dixon. In turn, back to Seaman. Half-time whistle, end of 45 minutes. It's technically been okay, but curiously without any real passion, considering this is the quarter-final of the Coca-Cola Cup. And of course, no goals either. Half-time then at Highbury. Arsenal 0, Nottingham Forest 0.
There you are, the first half over and done with, and not really much of a first half, was it?
No, a bit of a dour game. So
welcome back, 0-0, Nottingham Forest. Let me remind you, in the white shirts, attacking the goal to our left. Jensen getting in quickly, nodding it back, easy for Seaman. Arsenal fans looking for an omen. The teams met, in fact, in this particular round in 86-87. Arsenal won 2-0 with goals from Martin Hayes and Charlie Nicholas. Went on to beat Spurs in the semi-final and won the cup by beating Liverpool in the final. And of course, they've already beaten Nottingham Forest up at the City Ground this season by a goal to 0. Alan Smith the scorer then. Forest have given a good account of themselves in this game so far, but it's still 0-0. Merson getting back and a free kick. Downing his own man there. That's full in the face of Hillier. Arsenal's throw. Smith. Merson. Held a game by Forest. But Arsenal not to be denied. Jensen knocking it forward. Winterburn to Smith. Very effectively policed, though. By the Forest defender. I think it was Scott Gemmell who conceded the corner. And here's Merson with it for Arsenal now. Over the head of Adams. Will it come to Smith? Smith looking for something on the turn and turned well on it, but not only was Scott Gemmell on the line, but Crossley here was down so quickly on that one. Might have gone anywhere. And Forest just for a moment were in a lot of trouble there. The ball comes back to Alan Smith there. He turns well. So Crossley saves well. Gemmell forward to Clough. And here's Mercer. Oh, into the Taking on Winterburn, but Winterburn holds him up. Much better second half now. Offside, both against Wright and against Smith. Linesman absolutely right. Ian Wright with a chance. And of course, he would just love a semi-final duel against his old club, Crystal Palace, where he played to such good effect. Little chip by Mercer. Here's Campbell. Right outside him. But Pearce, watching him closely, gets the ball along the line to Wone. But the second half at the moment has got the one ingredient that the first half didn't have. It's got a bit of passion and a bit of bite about it. Forrest with the free kick. And the crowd have sensed it as well. They are much more on their toes now. And George Graham has gone down to the touchline as he normally does at the start of the second half. Bit of space now for Worm to work. But he hits it straight at Dixon. Claims a handball. Referee shakes his head. Merson trying to get right away again and very nearly made it. In fact, it was a very timely header there by Chettle. Now here is Wright. A little chip in towards Campbell, stopped by Tyler. Chettle again for Forrest. Olexon. Laws. Gemmell. Comes to Gemmell again. And in the end it's Campbell who brings it away. The flag stays down. Wright is there and has scored. The top scorer does it again. Puts Arsenal into the lead with 10 minutes of the second half gone. Ian Wright chalks up goal number 16. Campbell's ball. They looked for offside for a moment. The flag stayed down and Wright's aim was perfect on that occasion. See the claim for offside. It was touch and go. The flag stayed down. Crossley is beaten. Arsenal are ahead. I was saying a moment ago that there's nothing Wright would enjoy more than another tussle over two legs with Crystal Palace. Had a fantastic career there, nearly 300 games and something like 117 goals. But the goal here tonight has put Arsenal on their way. Pearce, Clough, Orlickson, Clough again, into the path of Keane. It's the man they've got to watch. Black. Crossed in by him, a flick on. Will it come now for Wone? Driven and well saved. Caught that well, Ian Wone, but Seaman was down like a flash. That big body of his fully behind it. A little flick on there. Wone was taking it in his stride, caught it well, so too did Seaman. Smith caught there by Tyler, but that looked to be accidental to me, I must say. But pretty painful for Alan Smith. Just like two men with their eye on the ball, and certainly there was an elbow there, but I think you could see that probably Tyler didn't even realise that Smith was behind him. Little thumping shot there by Dixon. Thumped into the advertising boards, a matter of a yard or so wide, no more. Really hit that well. Pearce will get to that one. Really had no chance. Campbell hitting it forward. Wright is onside. The flag has stayed down. Ian Wright again. And he showed to match that to Crossley. Excellent goalkeeping there by Crossley. When Wright looked hell-bent on getting number 2. Pearce. Clough. Free kick. Foul by Linnigan. Might it be at the range for Stuart Pearce? With him, anything's possible. Maybe, I think he'd probably like it another yard or two forward. They're going to take a substitution now. They're going to bring young Stephen Stone on a Forest. And going to take off the number 7, Kingsley Black. But the referee hasn't seen it, and so it's Pearce with the free kick, and he hits it. Drives it straight into a wall. And I think he's now decided the substitution will take place. And young Stone will come on. Just 21 years old, a Geordie, that lad. Let me tell you this, he's already broken his leg 3 times in football as Kingsley Black goes off. He's got a quarter of an hour left. So a youngster, would you believe it, who has broken his leg 3 times. Look-alike for Steve Coppell, actually. Right, it's Wone now taking this free kick. Oh, what a putback. Curling beautifully. What an excellent free kick. And David Seaman very much alive to it as well. So Arsenal still have this 1-goal lead. Ian Wright. Here come Arsenal again, Paul Merson. Dixon outside him, just waiting for that pass for Dixon, and Wone did so well to get back for Forest, kept it in play, but here's John Jensen again now, lifting the ball long towards Smith on the far side, knocked down by him to Campbell, not in again for Wright, has done it again, 2-0. Curling, swirling as he goes to the ground, Ian Wright has struck goal number 2, and Arsenal are virtually into that semi-final. A long high ball, Smith won it well, nodded down by Campbell, slotted home by Wright, 2-0 Arsenal. Good work by Campbell there, and threaded beautifully past those defenders. It might have taken the merest deflection on the way. Wright's chasing again, Crossley out, hitting it on the volley. Tyler. Laws. Stopped by Winterburn. Laws again. Stone. Keane couldn't control it. So angry with himself. They really look for a bit of magic from him, or from Nigel Clough, or from a blockbuster from Pearce now. Something to raise the spirits of the management and the supporters. Ball hit forward there. Well stopped though by Adams. Gives Campbell the chance to go forward again for Arsenal. To pick up Jensen. A little chip by him from Merson. The back heel. Campbell couldn't quite finish it off. Jensen with the ball now for Dixon. Arsenal keeping this pressure on Forest. Brought down by Pearce and a free kick. Unbalanced him as Merson takes the free kick. Dixon just unbalanced there by that little challenge, Pearce. Winterburn. Chettle. Wone It's got round Dixon this time. There's a little 1-2 there. Olixon with a shot, just over the top again. So much of it starting actually with Ian Wone down this flank. Nobody's played better for Forest tonight than the number 11. Here he is again, getting around Jensen. A little quick pass for Clough, played into the path this time of Olixon, way over the top. Well, remember when the sides met in 1986-87 in this stage of the competition. The score that night was 2-0 for Arsenal. They went on to win the competition that year, but here's Stone with a back heel for Roy Keane, played in. Tyler. It's a good shot and again, well saved by Seaman. Seaman certainly had to bring out 1 or 2 excellent saves in this second half, and a very good one in the first half as well. This one from the unlikely source of Carl Tyler, the centre-back. Throw given, and really Forest, understandably now just going through the motions these last few seconds. But wait a minute, here's Wone, looking for something right at the end. Forest at this stage 2-0. They went on to a London derby in the semi-final against Spurs and won that. This time it's against Crystal Palace, and they went on to the final and beat Liverpool in that. Is that an omen for Arsenal? Ian Wright, his goal-scoring touch made the difference here tonight. 2 goals in the second half put Arsenal into the semi-final of the Coca-Cola Cup against Crystal Palace, with the first leg on February the 7th live on ITV. So a good night for Arsenal. They've got their season back on the tracks again, thanks to Ian Wright. 2 goals that make the difference to beat Nottingham Forest 2-0 here in the Coca-Cola Cup quarter-final.
It was such a change, the first to the second half. What did George say at half-time? Because it looked like he'd really had a go at you.
Well, he did, you know, and justifiably so as well. We didn't play very well, and it's just through to like the defence and Dave Seaman. We stayed in the game at half-time. You know, the fans was having a little go, but we expected that, you know, and you know, we just had to know that we had to roll our sleeves up in the second half and really go for them.
Now, the first goal, it was similar to a chance you'd missed just before, I think.
Yeah, I think it's either Kevin or Merce put the ball through, and you know, I just had to. I saw the goalie coming, and then he stopped. I think, I can't remember, and then you know, I just slipped it down the side of him. Oh, it was Kevin. Yeah, it was Kevin, just slipped it through. And, you know, I just had to steady myself and just knocked it down the side of him. I was quite pleased at winning it, really.
Well pleased at the time, and that gave Arsenal the initiative, and you went on. It looked like you were the more likely side to score after that as well.
Yeah, well, we felt that we needed a goal at some stage, whether it was the first half or the second half, just to steady ourselves and get the fans rooting for us, really. And then when that goal came, it steadied us a bit, and then we started to play a little bit more. And, you know, then we got the second goal.
And the second goal, it was an excellent move, and you must have been pleased with the finish too.
Yeah, I was quite pleased, yeah. It was a good ball from Johnny over to the far stick to Smudge. He knocked it back, and Kevin done well for me, just headed it back into my path. I just had to hit it towards that side, really. I was quite fortunate, really.
Personally, it's been a funny old time for you. You've been making the headlines maybe largely for the wrong reasons. What do you feel about all that? Because I know tonight you were dubious about talking to people as well.
Well, yeah, you know, I'm just trying to keep a low profile, and hopefully what I do on the pitch can compensate for the unsavoury parts of what's happened over the recent weeks. But, you know, I'm just going to try and put that behind me. You know, it's a mistake that I've made. I'm going to pay my penalty, my punishment now. I'm going to do my punishment, and hopefully I can get on now and score goals for Arsenal and hopefully get us to Wembley.
Well, finally in, we've got Jeff Thomas, one of your old mates, back in the studio. A message for Jeff on the eve of this semi-final?
Good luck to Jeff and the boys, man, you know. I love them all. I love all the lads, you know. It's going to be good, you know, it's going to be good.
Thanks, Ian. Well done tonight.
Pleasure, man.
Well, he may love you, Jeff, but he's not really wishing you luck, is he?
No, he said last time, and he's got the ball nicely to his feet, and he's just banged it in the corner. Little deflection, but that didn't really make much difference.
he promised probably that he wouldn't celebrate there as well. Let's have a look at the revised semi-final draw then, because all the matches are live on ITV. The first one, as we've said, features yourselves at home to Arsenal on February the 7th. Do you think home is the best place to be for the first leg?
If we're going to get off to a good start, it probably is. Highbury's not the easiest place to go to. Down at Selhurst Park, we've had some great victories against Chelsea and Liverpool of late, so there's no reason why we can't get off to a good start against Arsenal.
The Ipswich Wednesday replay, of course, is next week. How do you see that one going?
Difficult to predict. Ipswich have just been defeated the first game at home just recently, so it's a difficult game to predict, but I should see Ipswich coming through, actually.
And then, of course, they're facing Blackburn. Some people are saying already that Blackburn's name is on a trophy this season. Maybe it's the Coca-Cola Cup.
Well, they spent big this season, so they've had a great year for the first season in the Premier Division. And perhaps they deserve something like that, you know, getting to Wembley as well, but hopefully they'll be facing us.
I was going to say, yeah, they can get to Wembley, but you don't want to get any further.